Then consider the breeding system of creatures. There are several methods of breeding. One of the dominant methods in these is the egg. The growth of birds is through the egg. Now consider an egg. When we break an egg, the gummy substance comes out of it. Man thinks and becomes crazy. There is no such thing inside an egg which brings out such beautiful and colorful birds, and many birds are of different colors. There is no such thing in this gummy material that makes a hard thing like the beak and makes beautiful wings, then becomes eyes. There are so many good things happening inside the eggs. Is that happening automatically? All the creatures of the earth cannot make an egg. And babies of birds are coming out of trillions of eggs every day in the world. You just consider a dragonfly which has two wings. He spreads its wings very fast. The dragonfly is also coming out from the egg. It has 25,000 tiny micro eyes inside one eye. Can egg make such a difficult thing? All the creatures of the earth cannot make a dragonfly. So the work which cannot be done by all the creatures of the earth, so how can that work be done automatically? The only answer is that there is such a controlling authority. There is a supreme agency that controls all these things. Then consider a seed, a worthless seed. We saw it in the ground. It grows from 6 to 10 billion times from its size, and many big trees in the world are hundreds of feet high. Inside a seed, there is as much data as books have been written in the human history. There is more data present in one seed. No hard disk in the world can store as much data as one seed contains. Inside the seed, there is data that what is the thickness of the tree trunk that will be made from this seed, what will be the number of leaves that will appear with it, what will be the color of the leaves, what will be the color of the fruit, what is the taste of the fruit, what is the fragrance of the fruit. Through it, the pollen will fall down, and then how many trees will be made after that. All of this data is contained within one seed. All the creatures of the earth cannot produce a seed that can be planted in the depths of the earth and it grows out such a large tree. The man becomes crazy seeing the construction of the seed. So, this is such a complex system of seed. Is it happening automatically? So the work all the creatures of the earth cannot do together. So how can that be automatically done? Think about it. Then the leaf is a whole factory, which is a factory that converts solar energy into its diet and prepares its food. There is a father of leaf who teaches him how to prepare his food. With one tree, there are from 10,000 to 1 million leaves. Each leaf prepares its own food with sunlight. It is doing a lot by itself. There is no motor pump along the tree, but water reaches the top leaves of the 100-foot tree. There is a capillary system. This system is so complex, which uses water tension to carry water to the top. Is this happening automatically? So the work which is not done by doing, so how it is happening automatically? There is a controlling authority that runs it. If all the creatures of the earth want to make a leaf or the materials of leaf, but they cannot make it, how did this material come out from the soil? There is nothing in the soil that makes such a beautiful flower. Consider the flower of rose. Consider the color of rose. Man becomes crazy when he thinks that such a beautiful flower comes out from this contempt thing. How does it come out from this contempt thing? And the colors of the flowers are very different. Are all these things happening automatically? Then the most amazing thing is human beings. Consider yourself. This is our heart that beats 1,000,000 times a day, and 10,000 liters of blood travels in our veins daily, And if our veins are folded, it will be 1 million kilometers. If our veins are attached, it becomes 2.5 kilometers of the Earth's circulation. The veins in which blood runs that travel through the heart, is it happening automatically? Then after that, consider that our kidneys have dialysis 25 times daily. At present, the price of dialysis is around 3 to 4,000 in the market. Multiply 4,000 to 25. It means our kidneys work of 1 lakh rupees daily, absolutely free and without any hassle. Time is required for dialysis and it hurts. These are our kidneys that are running automatically. Can all the creatures of the earth run the kidneys of that man whose kidneys became failed? Then our lungs inhale 23,000 times and exhale 23,000 times daily, and the oxygen they inhale, this oxygen reaches every cell in the whole body, and the numbers of cells in our body is not hundreds or thousands. One person has many 100 trillion cells, and 1 trillion is equal to 100,000 billion. To illustrate this, scientists have given this example. If there are 30 countries liking land and they are filled with all the trees, then the number of leaves that each tree has is 10,000. So it becomes 100 trillion. So oxygen reaches so many cells daily. In our body, every cell is a perfect factory and every cell produces its own food. Oxygen and blood reach each cell. This whole complex system is running itself. All the creatures of the earth can't do this work. Consider your eyes. Our eyes blink 12,000 times daily. If we rub one hand over the other 12,000 times, I think our skin will burn. The more delicate thing is our eyes, but there is a liquid in the middle of the eye that does not allow the eyes to get hurt. When those liquids are slightly increased, our tears begin to flow. Like there is a liquid in our throat. If it gets a little high, the horizon starts to drop, and if it gets low, we can't speak. Our throat becomes dry. Is this complex system running automatically? If we shut our eyes and then open 12,000 times a day, then we get tired, but all of these things are happening automatically. Consider your nails. The nails are coming out from the meat. What is that thing inside the meat? From the nails comes out. The teeth also comes out from the meat. The man becomes crazy. How such a difficult thing is going out from the meat and we have to cut the nails but not the teeth? It grows only in a certain quantity. A dentist who tells them not to grow after a certain quantity. Our head hairs grow but our eyebrows do not grow. Who is controlling all these things? Is this all happening automatically? If human beings cannot control their own things, so how they are happening automatically? The most difficult device is our brain. There are 10,000 cells inside our brain, and the connections that are inside our brain are 100 trillion. This is the equation of cells in our bodies. In our brain, there are 1 million chain reactions that take place in 1 minute, which is why our brain works. Even if a connection breaks out of 100 trillion connections, our brain stops functioning. Is our brain working automatically? All the creatures of the earth cannot operate the mind of that man if his brain is damaged or his connection is disturbed. So these 10 million per minute reactions are going on. That's why our whole body system is running. The sensation of our smell, the sensation of our taste, the sensation of our seeing depends on these reactions. Then the man should consider his breathing system, how man was created. With a drop of semen. Within one drop of semen, there are 120 million sperms. One drop of semen has so much energy that 120 million people can be born from it. Out of one drop. But out of 120 million sperms, only one sperm goes and fertilizes the ovary of the mother and it starts to become a baby. Who guides the sperm the way to reach there? And what difficult paths does he crosses to get there? Man becomes crazy. This video was played on the National Geographic Channel. Everything was shown. Humans got mad looking at this thing. All the creatures of the earth could not create a baby. How does a big man create out of this semen drop? There is nothing in this semen drop that makes the eye structure. Then all those things comes out in a perfect harmony. Is this happening under the whole system? How can that happen automatically if all the creatures of the earth cannot do this work? That is why a few laws of biology have been finalized. These rules of biology have also been finalized. A universal law that living things can never be created from non-living things. Life always comes from life. If all the chemicals in the world are mixed but blood cannot be formed, the blood of one person can be transferred to another person because the blood is living cells. So this is the law of biology. It has been finalized. So far in all the things I have said, most of these things are things that the common man, whether it is a human being today or 1,000 years ago, can reach a super controlling authority by observing all these things, and that authority is Allah, the sole proprietor of this universe, the only creator of this universe, who started a series of prophets for his identity, and with the blessing of prophets he spreads his identity to the people. Even if the prophets did not come, there was so much science within the universe that man could reach Almighty himself. But that didn't happen. But man has fallen victim to his own desires, and someone made the idols their god. Someone made the trees their god. Then Allah started the prophets greeting everywhere like the last gesture for the guidance of humanity. And those who took hold of the prophets reached the path of guidance. That is why you see the concept of God in the nations where the prophets came. Christianity, you see Judaism, you see the concept of God here, whether in the form of a temple, but the belief that you see. Even on the dollar it is written that we believe in God. But now the most important part of the conversation is coming. That is, it is Allah who is separate from His creatures, worthy of His glory on the throne. This denial of Allah began in the 18th and 19th centuries, largely in the use of science, and sadly the intellectuals who were the first to start denying the Allah and the two major ideas that came up today. I'll explain them today. This knowledge is essential. In the 18th and 19th centuries, two major theories emerged that inflicted so much temptation on humanity within the world that the remains of it is still in some forms.